Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make some ceviche. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make some ceviche. So if you don't know what ceviche is, it's pretty much raw shrimp that's been cooked with lime juice and stuff like that. Anyway, so what you're gonna need is a pound of shrimp, 1 cucumber, 6 limes, some carrots, I prefer matchstick because it's easier to chop, and cilantro. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can use tomatoes or an avocado or onion or chili peppers, but I like to keep it really easy. So you're gonna want to start with your veggies, so you keep your cutting board free from those shrimp contaminants or whatever. Anyway, so peel your shrimp like so. So also you want to make sure you have very clean hands. I wash my hands before all this. And you want to make sure you have a clean cutting board and knife. Cut cucumber. And I like to go like this. Dice it up, make it easier. I like to spin out the seeds. You don't want that. See? Oh, wait, a little more. So you should have gotten all the seeds out of your cucumber, and then you're gonna want to dice it up. So the neat way to do this is actually just dice it half and half and half and half, and just keep cutting in half. So now you do that, just go half, 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 half. You're just always cutting it in half. It makes it neater that way. So you do that way. All day. Every time you're cutting in half. Okay? Oops. You should also make sure you have a sharp knife. I haven't sharpened this one. There we go. Cut this in half. So yeah, half, 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 half. That's how I think about it, at least. It also makes it so all the pieces are like pretty much even when you cut them. Let's get them half more. So how do you cut it? Always in half. Look, that wasn't half. Anyways. So now you're with these cucumber sticks pretty much. You're gonna want to dice them. So just get some, line them up. Yes. Just try and keep them even. Also, don't have your fingers like mine because you'll probably cut yourself. Oops. I should have had a little cup. There we go. I'll save these veggies for later. So I got it here. Boom. Alright. It's really easy. This is a really easy dish to make. And it's one of my favorites. Just dice. Apparently the right way to cut this is you're supposed to have some kind of like claw shape where you go like that, but I forget every time. That's just me. But I didn't cut myself, so we're good. There we go. Cut up your cucumber. And honestly, you probably won't even use all of it. And there. Now you have some diced cucumber. You're gonna wipe your table. And next you wanna go with your carrots. So I use these matchsticks. By the way, all the veggies, you have to wash them. Yes, I use the matchsticks because I like to chop them super tiny, or I want to chop them super tiny. I don't want to like bite into a big chunk of carrot, but I like the color, and I like just little pieces in here. And just a little. It's probably better, honestly, to like line these carrots up before you just start chopping at them like I just did. Otherwise, you're gonna get like uneven pieces. They're gonna be all messy. But, you know, either way you'll eat it. Tastes good. You're gonna love it. Unless you hate it, but you'll mostly love it. It's really good. Okay. Now you get carrots. You put it in here. Now you have your carrots. Next is your cilantro. So I actually learned this weird little trick from someone where you can get the stem of the cilantro and like put it through a colander, or in my case, a cheese grater, and you just like pull it through the hole, and it takes the leaves out, and you're left with like, I did it earlier, honestly, but you're left with like all these leafy cilantros without the stem. But honestly, I'm just gonna chop it up anyway because this is way too leafy for me, so you might as well just chop it up. Unless you don't like stems. So I like to grab my cilantros in little bunches and kind of like roll them up like that. And then chop them up in there. You can chop them up however tiny you want them. I like them a little tinier. I don't like leafy things. I don't like them too leafy, pretty much. But, you know, it's good. A little more. Okay. And so next we got our 1 pound of shrimp. Make sure you take all this scales off, and you chop it up all nice and tiny like. So you can like take your time and make it all nice, even and perfect, or you can just chop away at it. Just don't cut yourself. It'll be fine. So you actually want to cut it, the smaller you cut it, the easier it'll cook from the lime juice. So what you're doing is you're creating like a smaller surface area for the lime to cook the shrimp in. And usually with like a pound like this of shrimp, it'll take a couple hours for the lime to cook it, but I'm just gonna leave it overnight and that should be fine. Okay. So what you're left with should be a nice pool of lime juice and shrimp. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna let that lime cook the shrimp over the next 3 hours or overnight, like me. add your toppings in the morning. And yeah, I'll show you in the morning what it looks like. Okay, so now we're gonna try some carne asada. Some recipe that I found online from some website called Natasha's Kitchen. So carne asada is just flat meat from beef, and pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna marinate it in a bowl. So what you're gonna need is 2 pounds of beef flat meat, orange juice, olive oil, cilantro, garlic, limes, 2 limes, 1 lemon, pepper, salt, and ground cumin. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a bowl and you're gonna put like 3/4 of a cup of orange juice. So probably that much. And you're gonna put like a 1/4 cup olive oil. So I guess the olive oil just helps coat all the meat with the marinade. And we're gonna put our cilantro. Cumin. Some limes. Lemon. So just squeeze all these guys in here. Oops.